Hi, this is Jees. This is 16th of April 2020. It's a Thursday, and I'm reporting at 9:30 p.m. CST. Couple of updates. One thing is that I have estimated how much time I spend on editing the videos, and basically how much time my processor dependent, my computer dependent tasks take. So it is taking almost 1 hour. So, and I don't think it is necessary to do all that thing, and some of the aspects I can capture very well by writing, and I get a good understanding of the numbers when I write. So I decided to go back to the old method, well known and proven and tested. So let's see how we can do that. So I'm basically trying to do one thing, the post-processing time to be as minimal as possible. That is where I spend a lot of time, and then there is no added advantage that I have. It's not positively contributing towards anything. I'm not promoting my channel, or I'm trying to take this as a record of the days that I have spent in isolation in response to COVID-19. So I think I'll go into the numbers. Before that, I'll just go into my updates. Sorry. I'm doing pretty good, and I have been sitting at home, isolating from everywhere. I am exercising and doing everything that I can to stay healthy, and then that is the main thing that I have been doing, working on the project, of course. Had a lot of work to do in terms of the TA. It was really enjoyable, but the time is the only constraint that we all have at the moment. Apart from that, I talked to my parents. They are doing pretty good. In India, the numbers are slightly spiking, but it has not come into a level where there should be a radar that should be picking up everything from India. Now I think things are much more under control right now. Testing has to be ramped up. Probably we will see the effects of social distancing in a very widespread manner by the government, and how it's going to be affected, the overall number, how they are going to contain it very well. That will be a great success story if India could contain it. So they are staying at home. They are getting everything delivered at home. They get frequent calls from the health agencies asking about their whereabouts. Do they want any medicine? They're going to give the medicine for free, all the generic drugs and everything. So I think that's a pretty good move. My brother, sister-in-law, and kids are doing excellent in Oregon. I think they had a great day today. They have been working. They are pretty much doing all the exercise and stuff. Kids are very happy at home. They are not complaining so much, at least to me, about going out and stuff. My friends here are doing excellent. They're also socially distancing from other people. We tried to order something online today from a restaurant called Andlas, and then the food came in almost within 30 minutes, and this was like a good idea to have that option open to all the people who are staying at home. Unfortunately, for the time being, I have decided not to eat anything from outside. That is just a personal choice. There's nothing related. I am not thinking that it has anything to do with the COVID. I'm particularly enjoying what I'm making. So, and I wanted to do a full-fledged comeback once I am off this COVID-19 isolation time. That I'm waiting for it eagerly, to be very honest. Okay, so my friends, he had food, and I think it was decent enough to have such an option after a long time. It has been 31 days after we have been locked out from everything that we have outside. We tried to order some stuff which is regional to my place, but I think the delivery charges went over $50, so we decided not to have that option. That is like we have kept that option as an extreme option that we might have to take. We might not have to take, but that is the option that we might have to do in case if everybody decides to buy something and then share the cost. That is too expensive for shipping at the moment. Okay, that's all the updates that we have, and I think I'll go into the numbers, how the days are. Death is staggering, but we'll go to the numbers and see. Okay, so the total number of death has caused 2.02 million. 74,000 new cases have been added today. 129,000 people were declared as dead. 6,982 people were declared dead today from COVID. Total number of recoveries is in 494,000. That's like really encouraging. Total number of active cases is 1.3 million cases. That's like really high. Total number of critical cases remains 51,615. I hope these numbers are going to go down and then they are going to make active recovery pretty much in long term. There has been a lot of disparity in counting the numbers in the United States, so they are now trying to add these numbers of all the possible cases that they might think are coming off this corona incident, and they are trying to count it as a corona pandemic accounting. That is a great move, but we don't know how much it is going to take a toll on the official side of it, but I think that is really nice. Okay, so the cases by country. So I think I'll have to take a sneak peek with you guys today. I forgot to add two things. So United States, they have 613,000 cases and 26,900 cases today. Spain, 174,000 and 3,900 cases today. Italy, 162,000 and 2,900 cases that we have today. France, 143,000 and 6,524 cases today. Germany, 132,000 and 2,138 cases today. I'm not reporting trends now, but today, tomorrow, I'll just add into that. Turkey is one of the countries that we have to look at, that they are not in the top 5 states which are actively has largest amount of contribution to the pool from coronavirus, but Turkey is having the highest number of reporting in top 5. When you look at that number alone, they have 65,111 cases, 4,062 cases that is reported today. That's really strange, and we will have to look out for how Turkey does in coming days. I think these numbers are really big for a country like Turkey. If you look at the death by country, I think we will have to take a look at the top 5 countries which has lost their lives by the highest amount to COVID-19. So United States is having 26,047 people who died. 2,407 people died today. That is a lot. I think I will check that number once again. Just really staggering. Italy, 21,067. 602 people died today. That number is still going up. Italy is not doing a great job with the death in a couple of days. I hope these numbers to come down really soon. Spain, 18,255. 499 people died today. France, 15,729, 762 people died today. UK, 12,107 people died in total, and 778 people have died today. These numbers for UK, I remember these numbers are really staying at the same place. United States, if this was true, what I've been writing, 2,407 is the new largest number of people that we lost to COVID in one single day. I think today I will just focus on some of the key aspects that we are living with, mostly the treatment, that the efforts to make treatments towards this, and the vaccine efforts. Moderna is a company that specializes in its medical drug supply and vaccine supply. So these people have the central government has given them $483 million in order to develop an effective vaccine for COVID-19. So there are some active drug use that is going on, at least in trials, for hydrochloroquine, and then there is a medicine that was developed previously for Ebola that is being tested, and there are like a number of candidates for testing the people who are already affected. One of the other very effective tests that people have, at least in some sense, have found effectiveness in patients who are affected is the plasma of the people who were previously affected and then whose antibodies are activated. So they use this in order to treat this for some patients. That is really good. We do not know the complete effects of it yet, but I think it's a great move. Whatever time with whatever time we have, this is one of the greatest moves that they can have. They have 2 separate studies, at least in the United States, that's going on with the 3,000 people. One in New York University and one is in UW. 2,000 people have enrolled for this particular study with the hydrochloroquine. So that is like a great idea to test every drug that is available with a reasonable amount of guarantees. But we do not know what is going to be a good candidate. So far, there are no good results that we have obtained from any of the Ebola test or hydrochloroquine, but we might have some positive results from taking the convalescent plasma from these people who are affected. So we are talking a lot about these days about the opening up the economy and all that. Many countries have developed a very good test. When I say developed, they have developed a plan to open up. So one of the effective ways to open up the economy could be the social distancing norms to be still in practice, and also those people who are already affected, who antibodies are activated, they can go to the workforce. They can return to the workforce, so they can start bringing the economy back, under the assumptions that these people are not going to be affected one more time if they are exposed to this thing, and they never becomes a carrier once again. So this test needs to be validated really well, otherwise there is no effectiveness for this test actually. So one test was approved today, and 2 of them were approved yesterday by the FDA. That's great news. So we will have to see the effectiveness of all these tests. So National Institute of National Cancer Institute, NCI, who is working with the National Institute of Health, is going through and developing the test which is far more accurate, so that they can isolate these people and then know who all are actually having the antibody, so they can go to return to the workforce. So life science, that's on the medicine side, the reactive side of it. So then the proactive side of it, so people are actually working on candidates for vaccines. There are 60 plus candidates all across that we know. Many of them follow the same old pattern, they inject a dead or weak vaccine into your body and then start to kick your immune response system. But that is really long. That is why Anthony Fauci keeps telling that it's going to take 6 to 12 years if you follow that route, because just isolating these weak virus particles, or just isolating the virus protein that you need, might take 3 to 6 months in a solid sense, and then they have to develop all these cultures live in the lab, and then it's like very sensitive, so it has to be done very carefully. So other options are like developing mRNA and DNA based techniques, wherein you inject all this matter into the body and expect these things to develop the immune response system that they usually have. I'm not an expert in this area at all, but this is what I have been learning, at least that they have digested this information and given us as bits of information that we can already understand in order to project ourselves where we will be in 6 months. This is the only option that we have at the moment, right? So antibody, so they are very concerned about how the antibodies respond, whether the response there is enough of response, how do you measure the success of vaccine? Is it by the amount of the antibody reaction that you have, or something else that they have? So there's a lot of discussions going on from the academic research point of view. I just wanted to give the highlight that not only these people who are working in the grocery store, in the medicine and all those people, there are a lot of scientists all over the world who are working actively on developing these vaccines, so that once you have the vaccine, we have the hope that we can just release the people back into the economy faster. So I'll link all these details into the bottom. So they are also worried about the antibody dependent enhancements. If you give the antibody, and then what kind of a reaction it will have. So we don't know how much about it. So probably we'll have to wait until the clinical trials are done. There are a lot more details to it, which I will link, but I think I'll not extend the video any further. So I think the most of the hope that we have should be predicated upon social distancing norms, starting with, and also the drug discovery and the treatment enhancement, that we have 3 forces. I think if you have the antibody test, that will be a great idea. And later on, we do not know how much is their antibody span of their immunity, how long is their immunity for each of the person who had this virus before. So these are all questions which are open, and then people are investigating actively on this thing. This is great. I think that will be my take on when we can open the economy back into action. We rely on the numbers, we rely on the data, we rely on the tests, we rely on the vaccine researchers, we'll take input from all the people where we can get back people into their action as soon as possible. So we will see more details about this and also further other news on tomorrow, April the 17th, Friday. Bye.